Hey guys, what's up? It's Danielle, so welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to just kind of share a little something that I like to do. And this is what I carry around with me instead of my planner. So if I'm running around the house or if I'm at work, I will just keep this little notebook on me. These are just ones that I got as like a 10 pack or whatever from Amazon. And then I put my own sticker on here. But I like this because it kind of acts as a pseudo planner slash, brain dump. And what I like to do is if I have any kind of ideas or whatever as I'm walking through my house, I will actually write stuff down. Sometimes you think of things when you're doing other stuff, and that's at least how my brain works. So I have a lot of different things in here. So I thought I would just kind of share it with you and sort of my process. So basically, these are things that I would like to do in my house. I have some damaged baseboards that run up and down my staircase, and that's from like moving and just furniture coming in, furniture going out over the years. So I would like to get that repaired, and stuff like paint. I also have like a list of stuff that I wanted to get from Home Depot so that I could actually paint some stuff. And as you can see, it gets a little messy sometimes. So I was originally tracking my vitamin D and iron supplements. I have stopped doing that because I take different supplements now. But I also, wrote down like this is when I finished my taxes. This is the last time I replaced the air filter. And then these are things that I wanted to make sure I include in my inventory list for my reserve pantry. Then we get into other stuff that I've been putting off for a while. So stuff like filters for my car. I cracked my windshield when I was driving back from Houston last Christmas, and I still have not gotten it replaced. So I've been kind of putting that off. And then I also damaged my brake light a couple years ago by smacking it with a 2x4 on accident. So that's what I get for redoing my pantry. But anyways, I also have, you can just tell, it's a lot of really miscellaneous stuff. Like I said, this basically serves as like my brain dump. And I like this because it comes with me. I can do this on the fly, and then once I finalize stuff, then I can put it into my planner. So I've even kind of like planned out how I want my week to go. Generally does not look like this. I'm still trying to figure out how I want it to look as far as my tasks and things like that. And then I just want to be mindful of the fact that like paydays hit Wednesdays, and I need to schedule a dentist appointment. I need to get my brother a gift card for Red Robin for his birthday. And then I have gift ideas for my boyfriend for his birthday that's coming up. This is like a rough schedule that I was thinking about. It's a little unrealistic, but it's ideal. And then just some notes. Excuse me. These are tasks that I pulled from my actual planner. So these are things that I still have not done. I actually did complete one of them today, and that is finding somebody to service my HVAC. And then stuff like, adding these to my weekly tasks. I also sometimes will use this as like a pseudo planner. So if I am in my planner and I don't have enough time to do whatever it is I need to do, but I know I'll have downtime at work, I will actually just kind of write it in here, and then that way I can still get that task done without having to put it off to the next day, because I actually work second shift. So it's kind of difficult for me to schedule things unless I do it earlier in the day. So stuff like finding an HVAC tech, you know, setting up a dermatologist appointment, things like that. And then I also figured out recently that it's been about 23 days between me buying gas for my car, so that's kind of nice. Then I have a list for groceries for the upcoming week, and this just allows me to kind of see what I'm needing for the week, and then I can also go through and be like, okay, I have this on hand, I have that on hand, I don't need to buy it. And yeah, I like this. This page I had to block out with Post-its because it has phone numbers for like HVAC, electricians, stuff like that. And I have a page that has, you know, stuff that I need to buy later. So like, I don't necessarily want to have frozen fruit in the freezer for, I don't know, like for the foreseeable future. But like at some point when I run out of the bananas I will. And then these are just some ideas. Well, this is an idea. I wanted to try to make stickers that were small enough for my pocket inserts. And then I need to do freezer and pantry inventory. This is an idea for my, I almost said husband. Oh my God. I'm not married, I swear. For my boyfriend's birthday. And then this was a quote that I got for getting my HVAC serviced. And it also has the details for the appointment on here. So I'm just going to kind of take you guys through how I do this. And you get to see a little bit more of my planner if you're into that. So let's see. Oh, wow. I do have it up through basically the end of April. So first thing I'm going to do is I know that I have the appointment to get my HVAC serviced on April 9th. So I'm going to add that in. This is my weekly. And let's see. I'm also going to make note of the price just so that I don't forget. So all right, so that's done. And I think that's pretty much the only thing that I need to include on my actual calendars. So again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to include it on my monthly. So I'm going to put there we go. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to go into one of my other sections and see if I can add some of this other stuff. And then what I like to do with this notebook is I like to tear pages out. So it might be a little bit wasteful, but like that's the only way that I can be sure that like I did something, is like the satisfaction of like ripping out the page. So I'm going to go to this section. I haven't decided what I want to do for my boyfriend for Christmas, so I'm going to skip that. And then let's see, it's planner stuff. When did I last? And I'm going to be able to add to this after I get the HVAC serviced. So I'm not going to do that right now. I can update my projects list. So I had fix damaged baseboards on the stairs. That's on there. I also need to touch up my, touch up bedroom. So touch up bedroom is on there now. And I'm gonna leave this because I do still need paint for my actual bedroom. So I'm gonna leave that. And then I'm also going to include touch up living room. So there we go. And again, I'm going to leave this in here because I need paint for that. So front door paint, I basically have just given up on that. And then let's see, I can rip this out. And I'll get rid of the fringies later, but I do want to make a note that I need that stuff. So I'm just going to go back and find my like to buy page or whatever I was calling it. Yeah, see, here we go. So to buy, need car filter. Well, I'll put cabin filter for one. And then I'll put engine filter for the other. And then windshield. You guys might be able to hear my cats meowing in the background. And then the last thing is my back left brake light. Which, I mean, the light works. The only problem is that the plastic that encases the bulb is broken. Because, excuse me, again, apparently when you buy stuff from Home Depot, you have to, you know, when you have a 2x4, you just have to damage your car with it. Happens every time. I don't know why. I'm so clumsy with it. Okay, so miscellaneous stuff to buy. Actually, I did all of this, and that, I believe, is in my planner already. So as you can see, this process is like a lot of back and forth, but this is kind of what keeps me, you know, keeps me on my toes a little bit because I have to update things. So basically my pocket planner is like the end all be all. Like I use the Mochi A5 as kind of like, you know, supplementary, but my pocket planner is like the big kahuna or whatever you want to call it. It's basically the meat and the Mochi A5 is the potatoes. So I'm going to put student loan payments resume. So that's on my calendar. And I think I can rip this out now because I've added everything else. So it's so satisfying too to just be able to rip stuff out. I've already done all of this. Actually, I need to, actually I transferred that already. So there's that. And then I know I mentioned it before, but I do like to include I like to do like schedule type stuff in here. So I'm going to do that right now, and then I will come back. All right, I'm back. Might seem a little ridiculous to plan out like when you're gonna do laundry or buy groceries or meal prep, but I do very well if I have a schedule for that kind of stuff. So I try to stick to it. And again, I've only been at my job for about a month now, so I'm kind of trying to, trying to figure things out as far as my schedule and everything. So let me see if there's anything else I can add. So I also have video ideas in here. All right, I'm going to leave the rest of these in here for now. Actually, I'm going to take this one out. So there's at least a little bit more room. And right now, this is kind of what I'm working on. So I need to flush my water heater, buy some CO2 detectors because my cats broke one of mine and I just want a couple more. And then I need to restock firewood and trim my plants outside. And then I do need to find a dermatologist. So that, I think, will be the next thing that I do. So I'm going to add that to tomorrow. Find derm. And groceries. And then I think that's it for now. I don't know. What else did I just put on my new schedule? All right. So I'm also doing laundry tomorrow. Clothes laundry. I've been doing that like right after I get home from work. And honestly, I think that's probably like the best idea, in my opinion, while I'm motivated to do it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share this with you guys because, I realize that not all of us want to carry a planner around, and not everybody wants to have their planner where other people can see it. I am very proud of the fact that I have a planner that I love and a system that I use and love. But the thing is like I have personal information in here and I don't necessarily want it to get into the wrong hands, and I don't want like people flipping through it. So just as a way to kind of also protect my privacy, that's another reason why I like to do the whole notebook thing. So anyways, I just thought I would share that with you guys. It's not really a novel concept, but it's definitely something that works for me. And it's nice because if you, are on the phone and you're scheduling stuff, then you can always write it in here and then you can put it where it needs to go in your planner. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll talk to you on my next video. Bye guys.